Hi there.
Hi. How you doing?
I'm good. I'm busy.
Yeah, me too. One thing or another.
You lost Henry?
Briefly, I'm sure.
What's the logo on your shirt, Greg?
Oh, that's from an Australian soccer club that my son coached at a few years ago.
Oh,
Yeah. In
Oh, ho,
Melbourne.
ho.
Hey, Henry?
Hi.
hi.
Anybody on thyroid medication?
I am.
Do you take a specialty medication, or are you on the generic?
I just take levothyroxine.
Yep, generic.
Yeah.
Probably.
Yep.
I've been doing the liquid capsule form. It agrees with me. It's not covered by insurance though. As of July
Was that because
1st.
the regular stuff wasn't working for you?
Oh, I've tried it. It was bad news for me.
Yeah.
My levels went up and down.
Mm.
Yeah.
No, what I'm taking seems to be working. Unfortunately, it's a
That's great.
genetic thing.
Okay.
My family.
Yeah.
Everybody's got thyroid disease.
Yeah. Greg, how's it going?
It's going okay, Henry. Not bad.
Good.
Yeah. Got a little bit of work,
Well,
and who knows what the future holds.
the future. That's always
Henry, you look like you had a haircut. Your hair looks much shorter.
mine.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. I cut it myself, actually. It's like,
Well, my son's been cutting his hair since the pandemic, and also cutting his girlfriend's hair. So maybe he's got a new career. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, I tried letting my husband cut my hair, and that was a huge disaster. And then I let my son, who assured me he knew what he was doing, cut my hair, and that was an even bigger disaster. And then my daughter-in-law was offering to do it, and I was like, no, we're just gonna wait until I can go and have some real person do it. Or I'm just gonna do a zip cut with a razor or something.
Well, it looks fine now. Maybe it's settling in.
Yeah.
Miriam, just an observation on your audio, your microphone audio. It's a little shrill. I'm not sure.
Really?
There's a bit of distortion on it.
Doesn't sound that I'm not hearing it.
You're not hearing it?
No, she sounds quite normal to me.
Yeah, maybe it's on my
Shrill is my usual, though. A lot of people would say I'm always shrill.
It's a good strategy, right?
Because, yeah.
Keep it shrill so people listen. Yeah, I don't know what to do.
Well, let me know if it's a problem. I'll stop using these headphones.
Yeah, you don't hear that, huh, Greg?
Maybe a bit buzzy.
Buzzy?
Not the clarity.
Yeah, a little buzz. Do you have a different microphone on that? Or?
I'm not hearing shrill or anything.
Yeah.
You'll have to unplug the microphone from your computer, I think.
I just unplugged it. Can you hear me?
Only barely.
Yeah, you'd have to.
Can you?
I gotta do something with the sound.
Well, I think the microphones were better.
The microphones were better.
Just the volume is low, Miriam.
Audio settings. Let me see if you can fix it.
Hi, Mary Lou.
Mary Lou.
You hear
Hello,
me?
hello.
Hi,
It's
Janice.
so long since I think
I made I made it.
made it, and you did give Karen, the details on it?
I did.
Okay.
I did.
Can you guys hear me now?
Yes. Hi,
It's
Mary.
a little soft, but yes.
Well, you think the headphones were better?
What do you think, Henry?
It's certainly louder. I see here for some reason. Oh, hey, Janice. I just noticed it at one of the other meetings we were at, Miriam. It was a little shrill. There was a bit of distortion there.
We'll just
But I don't know.
Because this,
we'll credit the technology with that.
yeah, I don't know what to do.
That's much better.
Volume is good.
Much better.
Okay, I don't know.
I think that's
Perfect.
probably the most important.
Perfect.
Okay. Hi, Mary Lou.
Hi. Hi, Mary. I did my hair so I can attend tonight.
I didn't get to ask my question at the last meeting we were at.
Yeah.
Oh, that was awful. That was just,
What
oh.
I wanted to ask was if you guys are, if they're saying that they had to cut off discussion because they had a busy agenda. They had just taken a whole hour out of the agenda and they were 20 minutes ahead of the posted time where they thought they were supposed to be. You know, the whole meeting was ended in 50 minutes.
Yeah, but all those interruptions, I thought it just got out of hand. I think it's a bit much, but you know.
I was enjoying it very, very, very much.
I thought you would be.
Yes.
Hey, Janice.
Hello.
Greetings.
So I guess we can, Azella's not going to be here, I don't think.
No, and we're waiting for Karen.
Yeah.
Has not, let's see. You're on an iPhone, right, Mary Lou?
Yes.
Okay, just checking. There's an iPhone.
Oh, yes. I thought I identified myself one time.
That's okay.
Okay.
Yeah, we know who you are.
Okay.
Yeah.
We know where you live.
I serve good tea.
Yes, you do.
Thank you.
Yeah. Well, I'm not sure how to proceed. She's not. Should we give it another minute or two?
Yeah.
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 I did notice one thing. The Zoom telephone number is the same on as our meeting as the select board meeting.
Yeah, I think the phone number is the same, and then you plug in the meeting is different. Meeting number.
Exactly. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I would expect.
Yeah.
Just checking.
So have you noticed the absence of bees, honeybees in particular? It's been a topic of discussion locally.
I've seen a few.
Yeah. We have driller bees. Wicked this year.
Yeah. Well,
We can't.
What kind of bees?
Driller. They're drilling.
Carpenter.
Carpenter bees.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah. We can't even see them, but there's so much. What do you call fine
Dust.
dust.
Yeah.
Oh no.
But it's weird how there are no honeybees. Usually I get massive amounts of honeybees here.
Huh.
Flowers, wildflowers mostly attracts them. And I haven't seen a single one yet.
Wow.
It's very bizarre. And
Well, we have bees in our yard. I haven't looked to see which kind. We have a fair number of bees.
They did a study. Apparently, increases in CO2 in the atmosphere actually are making for die-off because the amount of protein in the pollen is actually dropped. Plants are putting all their energy into the leaves.
Oh.
Starch
Oh.
does the bees no good. So, bees are very, very sensitive beings, and they get sick. They'll it's not a good thing.
Wow.
Well, Henry, Kiana,
Yep.
She was in our backyard once and she patted a bee. I couldn't even believe it. Yeah. I saw it. I saw her do it, so I know it's real. It was, yeah.
Wow.
I know. It was amazing. She has this humongous bumblebee tattoo too on her arm.
Huh.
Oh.
Well, I don't know what to do. Should I go to my landline and call Karen?
You could try that, but presumably she's on the phone trying to get in. But you could try that.
Okay.
Not here yet.
Oops. Okay. So I left message for her.
Okay.
I don't know, unless she has two lines.
I don't think so.
No.
Well, maybe your answer machine can answer even if you're on the phone.
And yeah, generally.
Okay,
Yeah.
so
It
I don't
might-
know what.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we're 10 minutes in. I suspect we should move ahead.
We have a
We
Yes.
got a quorum here.
Yep.
And
Next week, the select board will be voting in the new appointments for all of the continuing board members. Karen's appointment is expiring as of this month.
yeah, I had an interaction by email with Linda Avis Scott. And I told her that I would be carrying on. My term is also up.
Oh.
But that I would confirm with her should Karen choose to do so as well. But I don't know. Well,
have you spoken to Karen?
Well, I asked her before, but she never really confirmed it. I want to make sure it's confirmed. I was hoping she'd be here tonight to do that.
Yeah, I think because this is kind of important for the appointments, maybe if you could give Karen a call and talk to her.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I'll do that. Sounds like a plan. So we have sorry, I don't have the agenda up here.
There really isn't much to it.
There isn't much.
This meeting, I asked for us to meet because of this correspondence that we've received from AMP and from MHC, and to decide what kinds of responses are needed. I've drafted 2 letters, one for the Army Corps of Engineers and one for the Environmental Protection Agency, the EPA, which I can screen share and show you guys. The MHC letters, has everybody read them or looked at them?
Mm-hmm.
Are those from Mass Historical? Because I didn't notice.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes,
Oh, I
they are.
do see that. Okay. The one
Um,
signed by Jonathan Payton.
right. So I have asked AMP to give us copies of the project notifications that they sent to MHC. I got an email back from Andrew Chabot saying he would do that. Hasn't done it yet. I also asked, he sent us the draft letters that were sent out to the tribal historic preservation offices. I asked also for a list of which tribes they wrote to, and he did give me that list.
AMP? Are you saying AMP? Okay.
Yes, Andrew
Okay.
Chabot.
Yep.
So I have that list.
But you don't have the notification letters that he sent to Mass Historical?
I do not at this point. I also wrote to Jonathan Payton or Patton and asked him if we could have copies from Mass Historical, and of course I didn't get a response from them. So
how did you get these letters?
They were sent snail mail to Town Hall to the Historical Commission.
From Massachusetts Historical Commission.
Right.
That's what the XC means? I hadn't ever seen that. What's XC? Xerox copy?
I don't know what XC means.
At the very bottom, there are names: Jeff Brandt, Page, and then Shutesbury Historical Commission is on the bottom.
Oh, yeah.
Copy.
XC though? An X and a C?
He probably mistyped it. Side by side.
Being creative. In reading that letter from the Massachusetts Historical Commission, I thought it was interesting that they never use the term indigenous or native. They use the term ancient, which I found a little bit troubling. I don't know, Miriam, what you made of that.
Yeah, I guess I felt like it was implied by the word ancient. I mean, we're not talking about like, Celtic monks.
At least they're willing to say that there is some, possible sensitive sites there. That's good.
I thought that was very good. They obviously spent some time going through their inventories. So and they also wanted to continue consulting. They said they wanted more information.
Although it'll probably come down to just the foundations for the colonial or whatever period, but still, that's helpful.
So, may I say something?
Sure.
I think that me personally, I would push the Historical Commission to use the correct language in identifying what is there. And on a second note, they did the same thing in a site in Northampton. They use the same word. They say ancient. They say, yeah, like cut it out.
Well, I think in fairness to them, and I'm not defending them.
Yeah.
But the laws, the Massachusetts general laws for the MHC and for us, does not use the word indigenous for the most part. It says ancient.
The MGL law did use more specific language as far as protecting burial places, although they had the word ancient in there too.
Right, but for archaeological sites, they refer to them as ancient sites.
Well, I heard a talk the other day, and it was given by a Native American woman, and she said that and she was talking in general, that the United States as a whole have forgotten Indians, that they are a thing of the past, you know, and so when we hear the word ancient, it just kind of, I don't know, I don't think it gives due credit. I'm going to unplug that. Excuse me.
Could be Karen.
Oh, it could be. Okay, hold on.
Yeah.
Michael, is it Karen? Hello? Hello? No. Is it Karen? Oh. Okay. Okay, no, it was like a spam call.
So, what else can I say for updates? No, there has been no movement in terms of the research with surveying the sites, and nor has there been any further consultation with Bettina Washington. AMP was putting things on hold. It sounds like they were doing it because they were waiting to see what the select board was going to say, because obviously their projects hinge on this operations and management agreement. So that's not going to be happening anytime soon. So I don't know what to make of this. I suspect that the projects are on hold right now and that they're not doing anything. Back in May. What?
AMP projects are on hold?
Well, at least their plans to do the surveys of the properties, the historical surveys.
The CSL survey.
And CSL surveys.
I see.
That has not happened. They're basically on hold with that. At least that was the news a week ago. And what I heard was that, they thought more information would become forthcoming and there'd be a plan after the select board meeting, but that's been postponed indefinitely. So I don't know. I don't really have any more information to share about that. I did have, as you know, there was discussion at one of the last planning board meeting about using executive session in order to discuss sensitive survey data. That seems to be something everybody's comfortable with. I'm not hearing any objections to that. I did share that information with Bettina Washington back at the beginning of May. And she did write back to me and say, thanks for keeping us in the loop, and that she would think about it and get back to me. And of course that didn't happen. So, but I've tried to keep her in the loop about things by sending emails once in a while just to give her an update on where things are at. I sent her an email this week telling her about the Mass Historical Commission letters, and I sent her copies of them. And told her that we were going to be talking tonight about writing to these two federal agencies about Section 106. And I told her in the email that if we did that, if the commission approves these letters, I would CC Bettina Washington on them.
Oh, good.
Yep.
Good.
So I have a question. I'm sorry, I'm sort of out of the loop here. I've been buried in other work. That operation and management contract or agreement, that would be for the new, not yet existing solar that they were still trying to get the town to agree to something with it before any permit.
Yeah,
that's right.
So is it the select board that decided to wait on that, town council, or what?
They were not wanting to wait on it, but somebody pointed out that two of the select board members were abutters and they hadn't filed the necessary paperwork with the ethics commission. And because they're abutters, they shouldn't be engaging in contract negotiations unless they have an exemption approved by the Ethics Commission. So that is, they put everything on hold so they can go through that process with the Ethics Commission.
Oh, great. That's interesting. Thank you.
Yeah. They should have, yeah, surprisingly, didn't think about that. That was a smart thing somebody thought to bring up.
Yeah.
I mean, all the rest of us are thinking and aware of what we have to do around conflicts of interest. Just so you guys know, I'm doing the process that Michael DeCara did. I'm hiring a realtor to do an analysis so I can go to the State Ethics Commission and get unrecused.
Oh, good.
For the Bettina, for the Wheeler Track project.
Excellent.
So that's happening.
Well, does that cost you money, Miriam? Do you
Yes.
have to pay for that?
I'm paying for that.
Wow.
So
Michael didn't have to pay for it because the planning board voted to support him and pay for it out of state town funds.
Good for them.
Nice, huh? So,
so you're in 2 commissions. Can we not put that on the agenda to take money out to pay for yours?
well, I'm not really, I mean, that's very nice of you. I mostly have to recuse myself with the Conservation Commission. That was my primary reason, was I wanted to not be recused. So,
So the letter that you wrote, I had no problem with it. Looked fine to me.
me too.
okay.
Yeah.
Did everybody get a chance to see it?
Yes.
Yep.
The U.S. Army Corps.
Yes.
And
Great.
Yeah, Mike, go ahead.
The only thing I was unclear about was I based it on I had talked to, I think it was Corey Rose. And she told me, you know, about sending this request for an intend to letter. But I'm not really sure what she meant by an intend to letter. So I just put it in quotes, thinking that they'll understand what that means. Do you know, Janice, what?
No, I didn't know.
I mean, I was looking up online trying to figure out, well, is it some sort of determination letter? I don't know. So
The notice.
I'll CC her since she's the one who gave me that language.
Could we introduce that troublesome word ancient by saying including ancient indigenous ceremonial sites?
Hold on, let me look at the letter.
That's
Sorry,
a good
I have to
idea.
pull it.
And take the parentheses out.
Hold on, I don't have the letter in front of me, so wait, just give me a sec to pull it up. I was looking at it and I've lost it. I don't know where it went. Where is it? Draft letter, it's right there. Okay, so we're looking at the first one. Where are you suggesting?
Well,
The second paragraph, third sentence.
Where it's including ancient, including indigenous ceremonial sites?
yes.
Yes.
Could you put the word ancient in front of indigenous? Would that be a good thing if that's what people are using?
Yes, I think so.
Good idea.
The ironic thing is, some of these sites aren't ancient. They were in use when the colonists were here, probably up into the early 1700s. But anyhow.
Did you say ancient and indigenous? Something like
That's just, that gets too, I don't, that's
Okay.
really confusing.
I just think if that's the word they use, maybe we should use it too. But I certainly would leave in.
Well, that was for the federal government. That was for the state MHC, but yeah.
Okay.
I really don't think it's, I'll add the word ancient.
Okay.
And I don't know, what about removing what quotes from the intend to?
No, the parentheses around including indigenous ceremonial sites.
Well, maybe I'll just put a comma.
Like, yes. Yeah. Because parentheses sort of takes the, the stress or the importance out of something. When I use parentheses, I kind of like it's a side note. And so,
Okay.
yeah.
But that,
Okay.
otherwise, I've got no comment.
Okay.
And is the one for Army Corps, I mean, the EPA, something similar then?
Well, this is a little different. So I've had an ongoing email exchange with various people, and I've had a number of communications on and off with people at the US EPA. And it's about as clear as mud. So I'd had a meeting, I had a Zoom meeting, or that wasn't a Zoom meeting, a teleconference back in 2016 with Thelma Murphy and Doug Harris. And I think maybe Bettina Washington was part of that meeting. I can't remember if she was or not, where we were talking about the Wheeler Tract and Section 106. And it was clear as mud, because they said, "Oh, we're gonna put a flagging in here to notify the TIPOs if the project comes through, because there's only a 14-day window for comments from the tribes."
Wow.
To stop the permitting process. So the tribe has to be like ready and poised to act quickly. And of course, most groups are not able to act that quickly, and tribal offices don't often have that capacity to act that quickly. And so this is just like a lost opportunity. And I was actually had a conversation with the assistant or deputy state archaeologist at Mass Historical, who told me that this was Ed Bell, who said that the EPA's policy is illegal. He said that it completely is counter to the requirements of the National Historic Preservation Act, which provides for a 30-day window for comments, not 14 days. And that NHC just doesn't even do anything because this window is too narrow for them to respond. He sounded frustrated about that. Anyway, so I had reached out and had a couple of email exchanges trying to get this clarified. And then I got in touch with someone, David Gray, who is part of the, I can't find who he is, but he basically was part of the water permitting group for Massachusetts, for the EPA, and suggested that if I had some information about a project and including a tribe that was in being notified, I should give them that information. So I drafted a letter. I can pull it up if you want.
Yeah.
And basically would CC Bettina Washington on this. Let me see if I can find the letter. It's just, I don't know why I can't find things on this computer. There's like things are disappearing on the desktop.
Happens to me all the time.
I hate, it's this MacBook. It has all these different desktops. I don't want 3 desktops. I don't know how to get rid of them. Do everybody know how to get rid of desktops on MacBooks? All right, I'm going to share the screen. You have to give me permission to do that.
I got it. Yeah. You're on.
Okay, am I on? All right. It's still not letting me share my, okay, here we go. All right, this is my minutes. I'm trying to find. I can't find the letter, draft letter. Okay. Can you see the draft letter?
Yes.
Okay, so that's the letter I always got.
I don't know. Is that a draft letter?
Oh no, it's still a minutes draft.
Yeah, it's a minute.
You can't see. You can't. I'm looking at the Army Corps letter. You can't see this.
How many screens do you have?
You may need to bring it up or down.
Well, it's up. Okay, let me hold on. Let me
2 minutes.
Yeah, that's
hang on. I'm sorry, I'm being clumsy
That's
about
all right.
this. I'm trying to, it's minimize too, which isn't helping me. How do I unminimize so I can do what I need to do? I can't even figure out how to do that.
So it looks like a discussion with MDJS and
Yeah,
MD.
it's your minutes.
Yeah.
I know, I'm trying to, okay, I'm gonna stop the share. All right, I'm having trouble with sharing the right document.
You got to reshare.
So I can just,
you got to reshare it.
well, why don't I just read it? It's just a paragraph, but
All right.
it disappeared
Okay.
on me. Ugh.
You have to memorize it.
Oh no, it disappeared on me.
Oh, that's really bad.
It's not in the document.
List.
Ugh.
All right, I'm officially really upset.
Uh-oh.
It was in this document and now it's disappeared from the document. All right.
You didn't send it out, did you?
No.
No. Let me see. I think I have it in draft form in my email account. Let me try to get to that, okay?
Mm-hmm.
I can read, I'll just read it to you guys because I don't think it's going to work any other way.
Okay.
Okay. So, dear Mr. Gray, for those of you who want to know, I can now scroll down maybe and see who he is. He is the Stormwater and Construction Permit Section, Water Division. I don't have a contact person with the EPA who's in charge of their Section 106 consultation. I don't know who, I mean, so that's kind of where I'm a little stuck with who to CC. I did CC Thelma Murphy and Michael Stover, who's also in the stormwater system. And then there's a Todd Borsey who is included. I'm not sure who Todd Borsey is. Maybe he's one of the people involved. Anyway, so I'm CCing all those officials and basically said, Mr. Gray, I'm following up on our email exchange regarding solar projects, Section 106 and CGP permits in Shutesbury, Massachusetts. My understanding is that there are currently 5 projects planned in Shutesbury with AMP solar development. From preliminary investigations, it appears there are a number of sensitive cultural sites on these properties of interest to the Wampanoag tribe of Gayhead-Aquina. We have had communication with the Tribal Historic Preservation Officer, Bettina Washington. I have her email in parentheses, and understand that she has already expressed an interest in the properties to be developed. Recent letters received from the Massachusetts Historical Commission also attest to the cultural and historic properties on these sites that require further investigation and possible protection. For your records, I'm attaching the MHC responses as well as the project notifications that were sent to several regional TIPO offices. Given this, Ms. Bettina Washington, the Wampanoag tribe of Gayhead-Aquina, TIPO, should be on the notification list for the AMP solar projects. I think what I also do is, as a note to myself, is add the contact info for the developer.
Uh-huh.
I think that would be good, as I did in the other letter.
Mm-hmm.
That makes sense.
And you're adding Bettina's contact information or what?
I'm adding, yes,
Okay,
I have it already in there.
Good.
Miriam,
yes.
would it make sense to consult with someone who might know what contacts would make sense in this case? You seem to be...
Well, these were the people that were involved. I mean, Thelma Murphy is now the head of the water division. Okay. So I would think that including her and she responded and added these other names. So I'm assuming that these are the people that need to be involved. And I think by CCing Bettina, that's kind of holding them accountable because the tribe is being included.
Good.
So they can't say, oh, well, we didn't know which TIPO and we didn't know which tribe, or, we don't know how to reach them. I did, in my letter to Bettina, I did tell her that I was going to CC her, and I'm assuming that's going to be okay. She didn't write back, and so I don't know how she feels about that. I don't want to be presumptuous and speak for her, but I would think she'd want to know that we're sending these letters.
Yeah, if you're mentioning her name, you should
let
her know. Yeah.
Any other thoughts about doing this? I mean, the idea just is really to support the Section 106 process, because even if these surveys don't get off the ground or they get delayed, if they want to go forward with these projects, they have to meet the requirements of Section 106.
And what would those be in this case?
That they have to consult with TIPOs.
And can the TIPOs just say no go?
No.
Oh.
No. They can express whatever they want to express, and then there's a negotiation process. Usually what happens is the permit is put on hold until that negotiation has gotten to the point where the federal agency feels satisfied with it. It's a flawed system, but it is the only game in town.
I think it's good that you're doing that, trying to make sure that the different connections are made. They should be there anyway, but I think it's very helpful to reemphasize or strengthen that.
Yeah. And, if we need to go back to the planning board and say, listen, planning board, Section 106 hasn't been completed yet. The consultations are not finished. And, we're talking about Bettina, but it's AMP has sent letters to several tribes, and it's not clear if any of the others would respond. Do you guys want to know the list?
That would be helpful.
Yeah.
Yes. So let me get that list. I have it.
While you're looking there,
I have it. I already have it.
Right, go ahead.
Okay. So the Scotticook Tribal Nation in Derby, Connecticut.
Oh.
Wampanoag Tribe of Gehidaquina, Mashpee Wampanoag Tribe, Nipmuc Nation, Chibuna Gungamog, Nipmuc Nation, Narragansett, Mohegan, and the Mashantucket Pequot, and the Elnu Abenaki. And then they also sent one to the USIT, United Sub and Eastern Tribes. So USIT might send this on to whichever tribes they consider to be relevant.
So, did you just mention 9 different entities?
Is that what it came out to? 9? I didn't count.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
10. And you requested from AMP copy of their communication and you haven't gotten it?
I got a copy of what they sent to the tribes.
You did?
Which I sent to all you guys.
Okay.
And I wanted to know which tribes. And so that list I just read to you is who they sent it to. So USIT kind of covers a lot of things because all of the tribes in the eastern part of the United States are part of USIT.
Right. So what is, I'm sorry, I don't have that letter that AMP sent. What is AMP asking of the tribes? And
so what they did was they gave them maps of the projects and the region and where the projects are within the region, and said, do you have anything? Do you want to contribute anything? Is this important to you?
Oh yeah. Okay.
So, but Miriam, if I'm to understand this all, in the end, even if the Section 106 is recognized and acted on, it is not like strong enough to stop the project as a whole. Is that right?
It was never intended to, Mary Lou. This review of CSLs or other native relics, it was never, it has, well, just will not stop these projects.
But it will protect them.
It will protect whatever is on the map.
Well, it's ever agreed to.
Yeah.
Protect them from what? So, okay.
So building anything
turning into solar panels.
Yeah, this is what I'm imagining. So around it, will it be accessible to look at the one on Pratt Corner Road is locked. Did y'all know that? And the fire department doesn't even have a key. So within that, I recall they did some gesture to not go around a certain area. So what? I mean, in the long run, think about it. So what? What if you were that indigenous person and you knew your great grandfather laid there? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It doesn't guarantee access to these sites. It just protects them, right?
Right. Right.
Oh, and that's not the same respect that we have for the West Cemetery or the Jewish cemetery. That's not the same protect.
Well,
yay.
Yeah, so that's,
I know.
The initial promise had been, or that they were going to work to save stones. It would not include public access because they were going to basically build around the stone groupings. So yes, at least for 25 years, they would be not open to the public.
They'll fence
them in. But so the goal was their goal is to have a TIPO consult about what should be protected, not necessarily that it becomes available to anybody.
Right.
But technically, it's private property, and if they post it, it's not available anyway.
Yeah.
I know, but okay, so if we talk about burial grounds, the Massachusetts general law itself does not distinguish between private or public. It simply says the town would not allow what the town allowed the Wheelock tract to do. So yeah.
Well, the difference is that with European graves, nobody's going there looting things.
So there are the discussion that I understand is that Bettina's been clear and Eva's research team has been clear that if they find anything that they suspect is a burial ground, then that's a whole different can of worms. And that is a different story, Mary Lou. And the good news is that the researchers care about this stuff deeply. My understanding is that there are some sites, I guess I'm not at liberty really to say where they are, that have been discussed, but they're not on the project array. There's an area where there's a concern that it might be a burial ground, but it is not where these solar projects are going. So that's good. But it will be up to Eva and Bettina Washington doing those surveys to decide whether or not they care about something. But if it's a burial ground, then it is a different level of protection, absolutely, because there's different laws that come into play. It's not just the state law, there's also a federal law about protecting Native American burial sites called NAGPRA.
Okay. Regarding the letter and approval, do you want to approve it?
Yeah.
Both
okay.
The both, I guess you're right, yes.
Do I make a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve both letters with the small change that we made.
All right.
Then who signs them? Does Henry sign them or what?
Well, I think probably I would send them since I've been the one communicating with these folks.
Okay.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Right.
Okay, Henry, you want to do the roll call? We need a roll call.
Yeah. Henry Geddes, aye. Greg Colton.
Aye.
Miriam Defant.
Aye.
Janice Stone.
Aye.
Mary Lou Coco.
Aye.
Passes.
All right. So that's really pretty much it. Oh, I have one thing I can share that we're meeting next week, so this isn't our full meeting, but Eva Givik shared something with me that I thought was very interesting, and I wondered whether the commission might want to write to the Leverett Historical Commission and offer to be a part of this. Apparently, the Leverett Historical Commission has not been very interested in preserving ceremonial stone landscapes.
Really?
Even though Eva's on it.
Wow.
That's amazing.
That is amazing. But Eva was talking about the idea of taking the Leverett site, the one that has been conclusively dated by the United States Geological Society.
Wow.
And applying for National Register of Historic Places listing as part of a ceremonial district in connection with the Turner's Falls site.
Oh.
Because they've been talking for a long time about nobody's ever taken that step forward after the initial nomination back in 2008. And there was a lot of why things fell apart and the tribes weren't able to come to a common agreement. There's political things going on, but Eva was thinking about trying to get the tribes to work on that with her. And I wondered, there's some paperwork that has to be done, and maybe whether that might be something that we would want to support.
Yeah, I would think so.
Sure.
Definitely.
Okay. All right. Well, there's nothing definitive to vote on, but I will reach out to her, and if she thought it would be helpful for us to write a letter of support or something. It is in Leverett, but it's not far from the Shutesbury. It's near Rattlesnake. It's near Rattlesnake Gutter. This site.
Huh.
This is the one where they did the optically stimulated luminescence dating, which is this new kind of stone dating system. And they discovered that it was built sometime between 1200 and 1400 AD, or, CE, whatever you want to call it.
Wow.
Yeah, that's cool.
There's some stones in New Salem that are being considered in that same era.
That have been dated, you mean?
No, that are being considered to be dated in the same era. But that person, that testing that you just said, Miriam, it cost a lot of money.
It costs a lot of money. So one thing I know about, I don't know the results of it, is that last year, NERA, are you guys familiar with the New England Antiquities Research, NERA, NEARA?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
Do you know, are you familiar with them, Mary Lou? Well, they're this group of researchers that are really into studying ceremonial stone landscapes. Originally, my understanding is they were kind of a fringy group that believed in monks and Celtic monks' caves and all that kind of stuff. But I think that they've kind of come to the right conclusion, and now they do a lot of research around ceremonial stone landscapes. And last year, apparently, they started a project of going out and doing OSL dating all across New England.
Oh, wow.
And I don't think those results are available. They said it would take about a year for the analyses to come through.
Wow.
But if it works and they do it correctly and they come up with dozens of sites all over New England, that is going to be
Very exciting.
that will be a revolutionary moment
Mm.
in history. So
Right.
that would be an interesting thing to find out about when it comes out.
Anne Marie worked on as a volunteer on the one they did in New Hampshire this past year.
Did she?
Yep.
Wow.
They put out a call for people who wanted to just come up and help. She was there for like 4 days in the cold, drenching rain.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
Good for her. Were they doing optically stimulated?
Yes.
Yep. So that was part of it. Yeah. Was that what they called the standing stones?
I don't know. She said it was in New Hampshire. You know, they put up the tenting and, you know,
Yeah.
were careful with the whole thing.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah.
Any idea why, or what motivated the USGS to do this study?
I don't know. I think that, you know, there's some researchers who wanted to, you know, find some new technology for dating stone structures. So they did this. I think there were some archaeologists who worked with the USGS, a guy named Mahan, Mahan, I think, was the lead researcher. And they looked at the Upton chamber in Upton, Mass, and then this stone structure in Leverett. That one research study.
Yeah. Well, the reason I ask is because a former student of mine is in charge of Indigenous affairs for the USGS.
Wow.
And she was also the person who spearheaded the Great Falls project.
Oh.
She was the one who raised almost $1 million to buy the property.
Wow.
Mm.
Or Monique.
Fordham.
Huh.
Well, gee.
Oh, you could ask her.
Yeah.
But
All right.
cool
Well,
stuff. It's cool stuff.
Mm.
My daughter's starting graduate school in the fall as a geotechnical engineer. And I keep thinking she has to do a master's thesis. And I thought, well, maybe
Oh,
she should
yeah.
get her into OSL and do some OSL research.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
Wouldn't that be cool?
Yeah.
That
I
would
have to
be
go.
exciting.
It's
She
just-
doesn't want me to tell her what to do.
Miriam, are you saying OSL?
OSL. Optically optic like optics, your eyes.
Yeah.
Stimulated luminescence. It's a process where they
Date the stones.
They measure how much the stones luminesce when exposed to light.
Okay.
After being buried for a long time.
Wow.
If there's nothing more to discuss, I have to go.
Yeah, I don't think I have anything.
Nope.
Okay.
Move to
Motion.
then. Second.
All in favor?
All in favor.
Aye.
Aye.
Unanimous.
Who seconded?
I did.
Good.
We all
All right,
did.
we all did. Okay, thanks, guys.
All right, thanks.
Right.
Bye-bye.
Good night.
Bye.
Aye.
Bye.